We need to know that our thoughts matter. Our thoughts matter to God. They should matter to us. And then because our thoughts matter to God and because our thoughts should matter to us, we must understand that we're responsible for our thinking. What does this mean? Are you responsible for your behavior? Are you? Are you responsible for your actions? Of course you are. We're responsible for our behavior and we're responsible for our actions. Are you responsible for your words? No question, right? So what you say can get you into a lot of trouble, right? What you say can be a blessing in your life, and what you say can get you into a lot of trouble. And so you and I are responsible for our behavior, and we're responsible for our words. And if God knows our behavior and knows our words and holds us responsible, and God knows our thoughts, in the same way that we're responsible for our behavior and our words, we are responsible for what we let go on in between your ears. Think about this. What you let happen between this ear and this ear, you're responsible for. As surely as you're responsible for how you behave, and as surely as you're responsible for the words you speak, you're responsible for what happens between that ear and this ear, or this ear and that ear, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, doesn't really matter. It's what's going on in this gray matter. And so often we let stuff in here that should never be in here. Amen? Now, why is this so important? Because we need to know that loving God and loving others involves our thinking. What happens in here affects our relationship with God and our relationship with other people. You can't love God well if you have wrong thoughts about God. If you're not thinking the right way about God, how are you going to love Him? If all you think of God is He's mean and angry and distant and trying to take all the pleasure out of your life, you're never going to love Him or respond to Him in a loving way. But if you think of God as a loving Father who cares about you, then it generates love toward God from you. The same is true if you have bad thoughts about a person, you're not going to love them very well. We can summarize or say it this way: we desperately need God to help us with our thinking. If I need God to help me with my behavior, and I do, and if I need God to help me with my words, and I do, anytime in your life that you need just to keep your mouth shut, okay, and God just whispers to you, hey, don't say anything right now. And as surely as I need God to help me with my behavior and God to help me with my words, I need God to help me with my thinking.